Hey everyone, this is Holly and I've got some fun Halloween DIYs for you again, and as always, I hope you enjoy the show. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you click that button. I grabbed this at my last Shop With Me video, and this is a wood round from Temu. I'm putting it at the bottom and I'm going to put some hot glue, but you can absolutely use foam board for this or cardboard. You're just looking for a base. I'm just using up my craft supplies. Here's some foam that came in an Amazon package. I save all my stuff, you guys, but if you have Dollar Tree foam, you can use that. I'm just showing you ways that you can save. And these are those mushrooms from the Dollar Tree. I really wanted to challenge myself to make something with them because there's a lot of creators saying, why are they selling these? And I thought, yeah, why are they selling these? So I thought I would make some magical mushrooms. So I made some hot glue dots. You can absolutely skip this part too if you don't want to. These mushrooms would be just as pretty without the little dots. I just wanted to do that 3D look. And now I'm using a little sponge brush just to paint them all black. That's my first step. I want to cover the entire mushroom with black chalk paint just to make sure there's no color peeking through. And plus these are for Halloween, so I just thought that was a good base to start with. Next, I'm going to take some of this brown and just dry brush it on. Any brown would work for this. And I kind of dry brush it on, rub it off, dry brush it on, rub it off. I just want to get it looking like, I guess this. I'm so glad I have a visual. And then after that, I decided to make these rainbow because they are supposed to be magical. So I start taking green, pink, orange, blue, yellow, and I'm just taking the sponge. You can see what I'm doing. And I'm just literally slapping these colors on all over the place to make kind of like a rainbow, I guess. And trust me, it looks kind of weird now, but this is actually going to come up absolutely beautiful. You'll see. And I do dry in between after about 2 colors. I give it a blow dry. So I just put the blow dry in there to remind you guys that you do have to dry so it doesn't get too smeared up. Although if you want that look, you could do that look too. Absolutely. You could also pour the paint on if you water it down. Lots of different ways you can do this. But once I have all 3 done, I take this metallic silver paint from Folk Art. You find it at Walmart. And I'm just going to put like a super thin sheen of it on so it becomes transparent and just leaves like an iridescent shine behind. And while the silver paint is still wet, I use this really delicate, fragile, soft glitter that I have, and you will be surprised when you see it. I will show you an actual video where it's moving how much this glitters. It's amazing. It's perfect. But I just wanted it to be there, but not overwhelming. I am taking the antique copper from Folk Art again, and we're just adding it to the stem so that that whole metallic iridescent look kind of goes in a theme and it's all connected. Plus it adds some brown to the stem. And we set it aside to dry. While that's drying, I use the Dollar Tree reindeer moss, and I'm starting to cover up the styrofoam, and then I try to glue it down and I realize it's way too heavy with the hot glue dots on it. So I end up having to take the stakes that they were drying on and I just break off the bottom to make it the right height, and I poke that down in the foam and it's really sturdy. This is actually a great idea. Don't even bother with glue. And I am using my glue gun on low heat so that I do not melt the styrofoam. And I'm just going to go around and put the reindeer moss in there. So I want to use green because I thought it looked more like maybe, you know, in a forest where mushrooms grow, there is usually that lichen or moss or oh shoot. Someone tell me in the comments what it's called. Maybe I said it right, but deer love to eat it where I live. It's really green. That's where the mushrooms always pop up. So I wanted to make it green. But then I thought, well, it's a Halloween craft, so it should be like a little darker. Like there should be some eeriness there because we're in like a dark magical pot. Hocus pocus. It's, you know, the witches have planted these magical mushrooms. And these are the stems from the Dollar Tree purple and black roses. I save everything and I start bending them to look like spooky branches because I want everything to be kind of dark and spooky. So that's it. I'm just bending, see what I'm doing, and I'm going to stake those down too. But who's scared of the dark? You don't need to be. We need some light. And I'll tell you how. I'd like to thank Snap Power for sponsoring today's video. Today we're talking about Snap Power's Guidelight 2 Plus. It's literally the easiest install you will ever do. No wires, no batteries, no electricians, and installs in seconds. I really appreciated the smart packaging these outlet covers came in. They were securely wrapped and came with step-by-step instructions that were easy to find and understand. They have these little prongs that act as receptors for electricity inside your outlet unit, and you just have to line them up, snap it in place, and screw it back on. It's an outlet cover with built-in LED lights that are activated by a sensor and automatically turn on at night and off during the day. The LEDs are energy efficient, cost less than $1 per year, and last up to 25 years. There's no more ugly, bulky night lights that take up socket space. Honestly, these covers are some of the best I've ever owned, and if you want to get 15% off today, be sure to click the link down below in my description box or in my pinned comment. And thank you again to Snap Power for sponsoring today's video. So here I'm taking the black leaves that were on the stems of the roses there, and you can either get the black roses or the purple roses from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just using the leaves to kind of add a little plant life in there to make it look more legit. Next, I'm going to take some of these purple berries. They came in purple, black, and orange this year with a Halloween decor in the Halloween section at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to add some purple little berries inside the middle, just again to add a little bit of character. And some of you came on my last Halloween video and let me know that this is called creepy cloth. I think I was calling it like spooky cheesecloth or something. And by the way, thank you so much to those of you who comment. We are a chatty bunch. I love to get your feedback. It's so much fun, so thank you. And I wrote magic mushrooms on this chalkboard sign, this little tag from Dollar Tree, and actually kind of bled on that sign, looked even better. Took this sparkly spider, clipped it on, and for the finishing touches, I took 2 of the Dollar Tree black foam roses, glued it on that stem because I thought it was just missing something, and we're all done. Let me know what you guys think. So this is a Dollar Tree vase that I took outside, and I gave it 1 coat of spray paint, more because I wanted to have like a primer, and these are the rest of the supplies I use for this craft. Everything is from the Dollar Tree except the oatmeal container, which is pretty simple to get, you guys, but they also sell containers in that shape at the Dollar Tree if you don't eat oatmeal or you just don't have that kind of container. You can also bend cardboard to make it work too. I'm using a little styrofoam trim that I got from Temu. Super cheap. I was originally thinking about putting it on my fireplace, and now I'm using it for crafting because I thought, you know, it might melt with the fireplace because I actually have a real fireplace. I thought just put some real tile on it. Anyway, you guys, I'm taking my utility knife and I'm going to cut it down to that size. Now, if you don't have one of those trims from Temu, I'll show you in a little bit in the video what you can do instead that will look just as beautiful. But right now, I am taking 2 of the wooden plaques from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to give them a quick sand with a nail file. I love nail files because they're super easy to get around the corners, super fast to work with. I am using permanent glue for this. This is E6000 because this is going to be kind of tall, and I just want it to stay put. And you'll see at the end why it's necessary to use permanent glue. Definitely don't go with just hot glue on this one, but I am using hot glue and permanent glue right there just so that I can keep moving. Next, I'm taking some styrofoam again from a package from Amazon, and I'm going to trace out 4 circles, but I only end up using 3 for this. And if you want to know, I guess the styrofoam is probably in real life about 1/2 inch high. It's, you know, that's how thick it is. So just to give you some reference as to how much of the oatmeal container I used, it was about 3 inches high. So there's the trim from Temu, and it has like a sticky side on it. And I'm going to just glue it around there for decor, but I will show you now what else you can do. This is something I made last Christmas, and all I'm doing is taking my glue gun and I'm just twirling it around, making different swirls. I go through and then make different dots, and when it's fully dry, I'll show you. I dry brush it. Here I am making the little dots, but you'll see how beautiful it comes out, and this would be absolutely acceptable in place of that TMU trim. Again, it was something that I bought for something for my home. It was cheaper when it came than I thought, and I thought it might be a fire hazard, so I'm using it for crafting to use up my craft supplies. But you can absolutely do this method and it will come up gorgeous. And for those of you that are curious about this trim, I looked it up under flexible trim, like for a wall, and decorative, and this came up, and it was definitely under $10 for like 3 feet. I'm using it up. I'm going to be using it probably in future DIYs because I was thinking it would make some other really pretty things. Again, fire hazard, and like sometimes you find with TMU, some stuff is really great and some stuff looks really cheap. When you get it, it's like, oh, that's not what the pictures look like. So anyway, but for this, it's going to look gorgeous. So this is what you should have so far. And of course, you either did the hot glue squigglies, and you can always use like the hot glue in the silicone molds as well and make little formations that way. And before it totally dries and it's still soft and kind of pliable and you can bend it, just put it on. You can also use an epoxy, and before it totally dries, it's bendable. You can put it on that way. There are lots of different things you can do to decorate the top of your little oatmeal container. So I painted the bottom black with chalk paint, just Waverly chalk paint in ink. And now I'm taking the Dollar Tree apple that I found and I'm painting it red. So I painted a really bright red, I believe it's called Fire Truck Red. And then I'm going for this deeper red to make it look more like an apple, I guess. And since this surface was really shiny, it kind of worked in my favor, because you'll see here at the end when I hold it up, it looks streaky, and it just, I got lucky. I didn't even try. And so I'm letting you guys know, if you do this, it'll just kind of come up looking like an apple. Look at that. It just came out really nice, but I definitely wanted a blood red apple. Next, we're going to be taking these little skeleton hands from the Dollar Tree, and I have my little saw, and as it turns out, the same blade that cuts the wood, if you read the instructions, also cuts plastic. I was so excited, and it cut like butter. It was no problem at all, so I just cut these guys. You could do it by hand too, but it's so easy with the saw, and just making sure they're the same height. So I don't care for the color of these from the Dollar Tree. I just think they look kind of phony. I want it to look more like real bone, and bone to me looks more cream colored or beige, not gray. So I just take antique wax and I brush it on, and then I take a tissue. It's that simple, and just rub it off a little bit, not all of it. I kind of want it to stay in the crevices so it looks a little dirty and it comes up looking, you can see there's a great improvement there. So I'm using the same antique copper metallic paint from Folklore that I used in my first DIY for the stems of the mushroom, and I'm just going to bring out this design now and make this top look like it's metal, I guess. That's what I'm going to do, or try to do. So I'm just going around the edge. I go around all the designs. I'm not totally doing it solid. I do want some of the black paint underneath to show through just a little bit, so there's dimension, and that's what it looks like when we're all done. Now I'm going to take and put the apple in those little hands, and if you guess, yes, we are making a holder for that apple. So I did have to take the apple out and just push really, really hard to get the hands in the foam, and I use scissors, I'm not going to lie, to make the holes bigger. And I add a little bit of paint to cover up the white part that's still showing, and then I just go with school glue, regular school glue that I got from Dollar General. So Dollar Tree school glue would work too, nothing fancy, because it's foam, you don't want to melt it, so you can't use E6000, you'll melt it. You can't use hot glue, you'll melt it. And I definitely didn't want to change the hands at all, so I just dripped the glue down inside the hole. Worked perfect. And I'm adding some of the blackberries and the black roses from the Dollar Tree. And even though this craft looks complicated, it was actually really easy to make. You just follow the steps. It's all Dollar Tree stuff. So my first idea here is to write poison apple, and I don't like it at all. So I just wanted to show you, because I do end up painting over it, and the paint's drying right now. FaceTime to my daughter, and I was like, help me, help me, help me. Anyway, first time I've ever actually called her, but she was like a goth girl in high school, and I thought, she is the person to ask. Seriously. And so she's like, oh, don't you have that cloth? I went, oh, you mean the creepy cloth? Yes, yes. And she's all like, drape it. Yeah, drape it. So live on FaceTime, we came up with a much better, classier. It looks so good. And because the wood is kind of like it's kind of rough from the Dollar Tree, you don't even need to glue that cloth on. It was sticking and grabbing, so you could change it up later if you wanted to. And then she said, yeah, don't say like poison apple, say just one bite or something. And I went, oh yeah, and make a little tiny sign and we can hang it off the apple. So this was definitely teamwork. Thank you. I love you. And there's my little sign. Isn't that awesome? And I'm just giving you guys a heads up. I definitely want my apple to be super shiny like glass. So I ordered like a liquid Dex or I don't know, something from Amazon that you're supposed to be able to put over acrylic paint and it makes it really glossy. If it doesn't work, I'm going to go to the Dollar Tree and get their epoxy, but I definitely want my apple to be glossy, but I wanted to get this out to you right away because it's awesome. And I'll do that later. I'll take a picture and put it on my Pinterest or on my Facebook. Follow me on my Facebook, you guys. And that's it. We're all done. So this is a black plate from the Dollar Tree that I also got at my last Shop With Me video, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it, and your free printable today. The link will be down below in my description box, and if you can't get it to work, just take a screenshot right off your screen. So I'm going to cut it out, and I'm going to go ahead and just use a glue stick and glue it on. I just make sure the surface is nice and clean, and I put tons and tons and tons. And this is the first time, by the way, I have been able to show you how much glue I use, because with this particular plate, I left this in on purpose. It showed on film, and I went, ooh, I've never been able to show that. Usually it's like transparent, you can't see it. That's how much glue I use, and I don't have any trouble with stuff staying down. I'm taking a little sponge brush, and I'm going to take some just black paint. That's it, it's just black paint. But this is another one of those fast, family-friendly Halloween crafts that you can do, and it is really impressive looking when you're done. I do suggest sealing it. I'm going to go ahead and spray it with like a gloss this time because I want it to be shiny, but it's going to be on my kitchen counter, and I think it looks awesome. You guessed it, if you made it this far in the video, I'm going to do another giveaway. We just had so much fun last week, and it's my way of saying thank you and showing my love and appreciation for you guys and your support all of these years. This week, it is a $50 Amazon gift card. You can put it towards the saw or whatever else you want. Just enter by adding the word love somewhere in your comment and like the video. And thank you for watching. And here's that impressive big wooden pumpkin everyone was talking about and showing in their shop videos from Dollar Tree. I decided to get it. I'm going to put it on my front door this year, and I wanted to dress it up. And as far as the giveaway, I always announce the winners in my community section. It's a tab on my channel at the end of the week. So the same day I upload my next video, check it out and you can see who won. And I wish you all the best of luck. And also, don't make the word love capital or add quotations. I'm actually worried when I run the program that might mess it up. I don't know if it does because it doesn't tell me those things. Just write it normal, and that way, you know, for sure you'll be entered, if that makes sense. Anyway, so I just did pumpkin orange from Apple Barrel Paint, and I'm taking a little bit of the nutmeg brown. We're doing a little bit of distressing there. I just thought his eyes and his nose, his mouth looked better, a bit shadowed. Plus there was some imperfections on the wood from the wood grain and stuff, so it just kind of made it all come together. And when you make a mistake, you can see what I did it really quick. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I took a baby wipe and just wiped it off. If you're moving really quick and it's not wet yet, and of course I sped this up, I'm not moving that quick, but absolutely just take a baby wipe and you can correct it as you're going. And now I'm just using a pencil and I'm showing I'm erasing a little bit, and I'm just putting those lines of a pumpkin. So here is the new wallpaper out from Dollar Tree, and I thought, wow, this would be something really different. I want to do this. I don't want to do just black this time, just for something different. Now you could also just get black poster board and put it behind there as well, or you can leave them hollow and put some lights behind there. You know, something else I thought after I was done making this is you can get the cutting mats from Dollar Tree. They're kind of see-through, and you can put them behind this, and then you can glue little like fairy lights behind his eyes and his mouth, like battery operated, and glue the little battery operated thing and hide it up in a wreath or up under the pumpkin and light up his face. That would be really, really fun too, or you could just put it in your window. It would be really fun. So I decided to go with this, and I just hot glued it around, and now I'm covering it definitely because I don't trust that to stay on with the hot glue since the vinyl is kind of shiny. So I just use school glue, and I use some poster board and glue the back on. Now I'm taking some of the Dollar Tree Halloween ribbon. We're going to be taking the little wire ends out because I'm going to make a messy bow, and I want it to be kind of floppy on the sky. And I always save my wires to the side there. They actually come in handy for tying the bows together. Now, if you just use one, they break a lot of times. You usually need about 3 at least, if not 4. But you can see right here, I'm going to use them to twist this part up. And I actually do this bow in sections. So if you want a full tutorial how to do a messy bow, you can get it from a bow video that I made, and I will leave the link down below in my description box. It shows you all different kinds of bows, and it's time stamped, so you just click where you want to go and it will take you right to it. You don't have to watch the whole video if you're not interested in that. But I saved the ends of this velvet ribbon because I thought they looked kind of spindly and Halloweenish. I don't know, I just thought those are cool. I'm keeping those. Since I did this bow a little bit different, I kept it in this video because it wasn't my normal messy bow, but you still could probably make it like a normal messy bow. And I do the final tie with twine just so I can squeeze it together and hold it really firm, you know, so it doesn't fall apart. A little bit of hot glue. We're going to glue him on the top there. That piece right there kept going in his eye to the right. My hand's covering it. It was driving me nuts. So I ended up gluing that up. Right there, I ended up gluing that up. And I took the pumpkin also from the Dollar Tree and glued it in the middle. And this time we are using the orange berries. And I'm just going to add that in the center of these black leaves again from one of the roses. And I do notice my pumpkin had like freckles. I'm like, what is that? So after the video was done, I actually do go over that and paint those orange. You'll see it at the end. I went ahead and tied on this twine here, but I'm going to make another hanger. This was just temporary, but we're all done. Let me know what you think of the wallpaper. Hope you had as much fun as I did in today's video. Don't forget to enter yourself in the giveaway. Don't forget to check back next week to see if you won. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, breathe deep, fret not, and do things that make you happy.